Hello, and welcome to another chapter of a tome pulled right off the shelves at the heart of the jackals. This is Noviri, Part 4, Teeth and Claws. Let's get to work. These launchers are quite a bit smaller than the schematics I drew up.
Yes, sir. Your sister and her crew came up with some pretty interesting designs. Wait, steady boys, this alignment needs to be perfect, each and every time. We have to get it right. The engineer gave hand signals to the crew hefting the missile launcher into place to help guide them to just the right spot.
Each of the individual guns of this rocket line were about 2.5 meters long, and would fire up to 2 half-meter projectiles of various ordnance and classification. How many of these things are going into each fin? Cam resisted the urge to reach up and connect each of the weapons himself. He had a history with weapons, and generally liked to keep his hands as far away from them as he could. He still got the urge, though, to sometimes reach forward and fix one, but he kept himself controlled.
Well, she said cram as many in as we could, so design got about 70? Is it? Yeah, it's 70.
On each major pectoral? Seriously? That's a lot. Cam was more than a little impressed with Kath's design improvements this time around. What about the firing arcs?
The first line is fixed, Commander. You only get about 120 degrees facing forward. We could have put a few more in, but we wanted some spacing for safety and such in case of blowouts or any of that.
Alright, what does this line fire, and what's the second set capable of?
These first ones fire dead sights. They lock on to anything within 30,000 meters. Arcs of about 45 degrees forward facing. There's going to be another set of 50 along the jawline. A good set of munchers on this beast. Second set, I wouldn't know. Hey, Valen! Hey! The commander wants to know about your job. The young engineer called out to a more aged engineer, stuffing a sandwich into his face off to one side.
One sec. He swallowed what he was working on, leaving the rest next to his crew, whom were also devouring a small meal and doing their best to remain invisible. What do you need, sir?
Cam was about to talk, but the other engineer chimed in again. The commander wants to know about the second and third line. That's your job, not mine.
Second line is 15 multi-phase launchers, like on the javelins, but much larger. These mostly fire heavy missiles, shield busters, armor-piercing, or jamming missiles. Loaded... I don't know how they're loaded. I just install them. Each of them requires at least one soldier to operate in a line after every shot. He shifted and pointed to a few massive outlines. Those will be special. Only 3 on the front pectorals and 1 on each of the minors. Full rotation. Kath called them something like razor talons. They fire a single missile effective up to 65,000 meters, once every 3 minutes. But they can also fire cluster missiles. He gestured out with his hands, fluttering his fingers to mimic tiny explosions. They lay out a storm of explosive shit right into the enemy's face. Only really meant to shred shields and what? Overwhelm them with too much force in too many places, Commander.
Do you know anything about those hatches that I see on the hull? Cam pointed to the nearest one he could see. They looked like, he didn't even know what they looked like. They weren't anything like the plans that he drew up or any of the designs anyone handed to him in the process of building the Vengeance.
Oh, those are pretty new. Kath came up with them with Estoc is his name, I think. I worked on those last week. They're 2-meter strand launchers. Crazy tech in those things. I couldn't even wrap my head around it. Can't put them too close together. There's only about 40 on each side of both ships. They're, sorry, I misspoke. Both sides of the ship. They're meant for broadsiding. smaller firing cones, and unpredictable trajectories at more than 3,000 meters. He paused to guzzle from a flask previously at the hip of his overalls.
What kind of impact are we looking at with those strand launchers when they hit?
If it's past the 3,000 meters, there won't be that much damage. The strands are made of heated proto-thread, shaped like a slender octahedron. They cool as they fly. They punch holes through pretty much everything, though, as long as they're still hot. The closer you get, the hotter they are. When they hit something, either a shield, energy shield, or armor, they expand, and they expand much further than, they normally would were they not heated. So the effects are devastating. You do not want to get close to a crosshead and broadside it. And that's how the Siltarum ships work a lot, so we're actually gonna hurt them if they use their favorite strategy.
Thank you, weapon specialist. That was very informative. You may go.
It was an honor, Commander. Valen strode off after giving a crisp salute.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the rest of the weapons on the ship, Engineer? Cam returned to chatting with the engineer he'd started this conversation with.
It's all I really know, I mostly just keep my head down and make sure everything gets put in the right spot. I think there are crews starting up work on the underbelly and the tail fins, but I'm not really sure, Commander. If you wouldn't mind, we kinda got a lot of work to do, you know.
It was more a question than a suggestion, but Cam took the hint, nodding and saluting to his subordinate as he ventured off to find another weapons crew manager. And so it is. Our time together has once more come to a close. I've been Lothran, and this was Noviri Part 4, Teeth and Claws. Another tale from the heart of the jackals. Go ahead, Korvoth.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's the end of the story today, folks. Please leave all your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. Don't be a jerk, though. Don't forget to stay safe out there. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to show your support. Good night and good luck. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.